Good evening, everyone. Yeah, grateful to be here. Let's see how it goes today. It will be on. So I'm going to talk today about worry and uncertainty, which is something that every single human being struggles with, including me. I would say some people are better at. Well, obviously, some people are better at dealing with it than others, and that's that's kind of my goal throughout all my journey with teaching and helping people, is to not only change their lives and to build a disciplined life and to face their fears, but to also build a better relationship with uncertainty, which you can't really not mention uncertainty and worry when we're talking about life, anxiety, becoming a better person, getting over our fears, all that kind of stuff. So we'll go into that today. See what comes out. Which has been nice lately. It's something that would be nice to do all the time. But I've just been talking to people a bit more, asking people how their day is. It's probably because it's because some of the things that I've gone through in my life, some traumatic things. Losing a close friend who took his own life, who I loved and will always love, and grateful for the times that we had. He's in my thoughts and prayers every day. Really good experiences in life. Things like that, and I speak to people from all walks of life. There's a gentleman that works here, he's a lovely guy that I've known him for a few years now. He give me extra biscuits and cakes and stuff, which is kind. And I asked him how his day was, and he said some great wisdom today. And I said, how are you today, man? When I ask someone that, I always like to make people feel comfortable to where they can just be really honest with me. They don't have to lie about it. I'm not going to judge them. I'm a human being. I like authenticity. So if someone's had a really bad day, it's better just to say that I've had a really bad day today, I'm worried about something. And then you can help someone through that, rather than people saying, yeah, today's been really amazing, but inside they're dying of pain and stress and worry. That doesn't help people. That's what people do that a lot today in our culture, and it's unfair on people, I think. Anyway, so he just said to me, I've got no control over, some days are good, some days are not. How's your shift? I'm on an evening shift today. I said, how was it? It's not great today, but what can you do? And he said, I've got no control over it. If I had control, I'd make every day good. Well, that's true. That goes part and parcel with gratitude, daily discipline, what I teach, what I'm living, what I'm practicing now. That there's certain things that we haven't got control over. We have got no control over, but we got to, take control over the things that we have got control over. And sometimes getting control over your fears and anxieties is letting go of them, accepting that there's things that we can't control. Tomorrow is not promised for any of us. Can't control most things, and that's what creates most human suffering. Everyone is trying to obsessively control everything, and control other people, and control their finances, their health. Just after a while, you just go mad. You can't do it. I've had to learn that the hard way. So that is already giving you a big explanation. Yeah. So with the daily discipline program that I've been practicing now for a long time, and I've loved it and enjoyed it, and I've built up the new programs for my business, and I'm teaching them. They're working well. Still a long way to go, one day at a time. The daily discipline is amazing because it really does teach you how to manage uncertainty better, and anxiety and stress, and still live a great life, and still be nice to people, and still do the best things you can each day. That's one of the reasons why I love it. It's not just helpful for when times are going well, and when times are going well, that's a blessing, as all of you know, but life is not like that for anybody. It don't matter if you're rich, you're a billionaire, you're a millionaire, you've got no money, it doesn't matter. Life never always goes well. Never. Inevitably, there's certain things that come in that we've got no control over whatsoever. And that's where discipline really, really comes into play, and gratitude, where you say, right, what can I control? I can go for a run, I can go to the gym, I can work on my business, I can help someone, I can pray, I can have a coffee. There's a lot that you can do. When you do that, you get stronger, you get braver. And as I said on this title, thank you. Sorry, that's YouTube Live. It's a YouTube live stream. Yeah, teach, mentor people on how to face the fears, be positive. Jonathan, nice to meet you. Lovely to meet you, man. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you, man. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you guys. Appreciate it, man. We think alike, man. Same thing. You know. Appreciate it. You too, man. Awesome, man. So, you know, that was a lovely moment. You know, I didn't expect that. You know, see, you can't plan these things. You can't plan these things. But when you practice discipline, these things happen. That kind of threw me off. I really appreciate that. So I'm doing a live stream, talking about uncertainty, gratitude, discipline. And 3 gentlemen walked by, well dressed. They look successful. They're very positive, and they said, "I really like that. What was you talking about?" "Oh, you know, motivation. Oh, we love that." You saw it, I met them. You can't plan that. But when you work on discipline, when you've got a good attitude, these things happen. You know, these things happen through hard work. I really appreciate that. Really enjoyed that moment. That was a beautiful moment. That's happened to me a lot of times. That's happened to a lot of my clients. That's happened to a lot of you, where you're doing positive things, you're in a nice place, and someone will come up to you. I've got to speak more on this, really a lot on it, because it's one of them things that I know it, I appreciate it, I forget it a lot of times. We all forget it. You know, people speak about, you know, when you do positive things in your life, you start to attract positive things. That is true. That is true. But even with that, you're still going to get challenges. But that was a nice moment. That's why I like going to all places. And it's funny lately, these things, I need to make more videos on these lessons. They're coming to me as I'm living life. That's what I love about living a daily life of gratitude, courage. You learn so much. You learn a lot about people. You know, you learn about many good virtues. You especially learn about being kind to others. So, okay, what was I going to say? So yeah, I have conversations quite a lot lately. I push myself, you know, to whenever I can be friendly to people and have a chat, ask them how they're doing genuinely. And lately I can see that a lot of people are, you know, struggling with day-to-day life. We all are. It's just a question of how we deal with it. And I ask people, how are you doing? And say, well, you know, I'm okay. You know, things are. And I try to learn from everyone. And I try, every person I speak to, I try my best to lift them up, make them feel good. And I try as well to allow people to do that for me, because I'm still human. You don't stop being human when you're a teacher. You know, a teacher sometimes needs a teacher, as a doctor needs a doctor, a personal trainer needs a personal trainer. So this is really where discipline comes in. Discipline is when, you know, discipline is about doing things when you're scared, when you are uncertain. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say you're really worried about something right now. It's really consuming you. You're worried about health, relationships, finances, which I understand. We all go through that. Discipline is saying, right, I'm scared. The worry's right there. I'm aware of it, but I'm going to go to the gym anyway. And I'm going to put that in a folder for a second. It's there. I can't get rid of it, so I'm going to accept that. The worry's going to be there. The more I try and get rid of it, the more it's going to agitate it. So I'm going to put it in a folder. It's there. But I'm not going to let it defeat me. I'm going to go to the gym and enjoy my workout as much as I can. That is discipline. That is discipline. Discipline is doing things when you don't feel like doing them, allowing yourself to enjoy them. That is an explanation of discipline. And when you do that, you get a bit more strength. Like I said, facing anxiety is a lifelong commitment and uncertainty. So it's not just, well, I faced anxiety last week, I beat it, I'm confident, now it's finished. It's like, nah, that's not the truth. It's an ongoing thing, as long as we're living. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this story. This is a true story, right? You guys and girls can check it out. It will connect with what we're saying today. I'm fascinated with sharks. I don't know about all of you. Since I was a young kid, I still am. I was so terrified of great white sharks, and I'm terrified of the ocean. I think most people are, right? Those of you that are not, you're amazing, because that's one of my fears. So I've always had a fascination with sharks growing up. Great white sharks, tiger sharks. You know, watching the Jaws movies, they scare the living daylights out of me. And the ocean, you know, it's so vast, so big. What's happening, Frank? Evening. So today we're talking about worry, uncertainty, and how to eliminate it continuously with courage and discipline and everything else that comes around that. So I've always been fascinated with sharks growing up. They've always scared me. I watched the Jaws movies, loved them. They scared the life out of me. Made my brother laugh one day. I said, I got so traumatized from watching Jaws that I was afraid to take a bath in case there was a shark. He was cracking up, right? That's how much fear can frighten you. I was so frightened that I couldn't have a bath. I had to take a shower because I thought a great white shark might be in the bath, might eat me. Oh man. You know you've arrived when you laugh at your own jokes. When you laugh at your own jokes, you are official. Well, we don't use the word old on this channel, but when you laugh at your own jokes, you know you're old. When you start telling young people stories, you are old. I don't care what anyone says. At least I can admit I'm not in denial, and I still feel young. I still got one round. I still got a couple of rounds in me. But yeah. So that's one of my clients, lovely guy I worked with a few months back. Did my 6 weeks mentorship program. I was helping him on his life discipline, anxiety, and I said to him, I am aware that what you're thinking, you know. He was laughing. He's 29, I'm 40 years young, and I said, you know, you're probably thinking this old git telling me stories. What does he know? And he said, no, I'm not thinking that. So that was funny. From Russia with love, appreciate that. So anyway, this is a true story. You can research it. I think it was one of the worst shark attacks in history. It was the Indianapolis. It's online. I've watched hours of it, right? If you go online, it is a true story that there's going to be a reason why I'm going to share this. So basically, I don't know all the ins and outs of history, but it was I think it was a war between two countries, America, I believe it was Japan. I might not be factually right, but that's not the point here. Basically, what happened was the Americans were on a submarine. They thought that they'd made it. All of a sudden, a bomb hit or a missile, boom, and basically they had to abort ship, right? So imagine that. You think that you've come home, you've won the war or whatever the case may be in the Indianapolis. Next thing, a bomb's hit the ship, and everyone's got to jump in the water. Now they didn't know at the time. From what I remember, they didn't know that when they were jumping in the water, loads and loads of men, they didn't know that these waters were going to be shark infested. So imagine that. You're already so basically they were living their life. This is uncertainty for you. Please, I hope a shark doesn't come in now. And a bomb goes off in the submarine. You've got to jump in the water. They're in the water. I don't know how many men are in the water. He talks about this in Jaws. This is a true story, by the way, right? And I'm sorry that I don't remember all the facts, but you know, I took a lot of punches. I work with a lot of clients, so I'm a little bit beaten up. So basically, you got hundreds of men in the water, right? Stranded, and there's no rescue boats. Like, all the resources at the time are unavailable. Imagine that. So they're all stranded. Some of them obviously are doing their best to float so they don't drown. So I think they're leaning on their backs, or some of them have got like little boats, things like that, and they're all in. Now all of a sudden, now bearing in mind, this is crazy, this story, if I believe it, they were stranded out at sea for 4 days. Now listen to this. This is terrifying. Imagine this. Now, some of the men are going psychotic. They're just having breakdowns because they can't cope with the stress, and they're tired, they're hungry. The water's not healthy. Some of them are drinking water. The salt in the water is sending them nuts. They're having breakdowns. Now, all of a sudden, sharks start coming. and start eating them, feeding, like killing them. Now, they're in groups, they're in the water, they're fighting for their life, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, sharks are coming, pulling bodies down. Imagine that, like you're next to your friend, all of a sudden, he's screaming or his limbs have just been taken, and there's an infestation of sharks, and these sharks are coming in and they're feeding on the bodies, and then they're going away and they're stranded. So there's no hope. There's not like, oh, in a minute there's a boat coming, so you don't know when you're next. Can you even imagine living under those circumstances of absolute fear? I can't imagine it. I've faced some challenging fears in my life. A couple of life and death situations, but nothing like that. Man, that little chocolate looks good, man. I'm fighting it. I've been good. Don't do it. Let me just put it here, right? I don't have to eat it, but he's giving me that. I'm dieting really well. Don't do it. It's tempting. All right, we'll come back to it, right? Oh man, this is a fight. So can you imagine that horror? Like, you're stranded at sea. There's no rescue boats. All of the things they can't communicate, and sharks are eating people, and you're worrying that you're going to be next, and there's nothing that you can do, just pray. And they start gathering in circles, and there's blood everywhere, and obviously with sharks, you know, the more blood they see, the more it attracts more sharks. So the sharks are basically just feeding on, this is like Christmas for them, they're just feeding on these bodies. And you know, the screaming, the shouting, it's a living hell. Imagine those conditions. Screaming, people are breaking down, they're getting eaten by sharks. And one of the survivors was saying that, you know, you could feel the sharks like hitting your legs, and you would just pray that they didn't start ripping you to pieces. Some people got lucky, they'd go away. Now this was going on for 4 nights, 4 days. So imagine that. If you survive day 1, you've got day 2 to go. So every single minute you'd be under so much anxiety. Like, it's just torture. So that level of uncertainty really makes the level of uncertainty that most of us deal with piece of cake, like, easy. I use that comparison. So in the end, most of the sharks, like most people die, but there are some survivors, and the survivors live to tell the story today. And you know, they talk about, you know, the traumatic experience, but it's an amazing, tragic, sad story. But I think a lot about that at times when I'm worried about things, or you know, being a bit selfish, not thinking about other people, things like that. And just, man, I just don't know what to say, man. Prayers go out. Imagine being in that situation. Crazy what people go through. Wow. But yeah, only a few survived. Actually, if you watch Jaws 1, the Irish fisherman talks about that real event in Jaws. He actually talks about it. If you remember Jaws 1, when they're sitting down, they're in the boat, and you've got the main guy and you've got the student guy who's quite intellectual, who hasn't really faced much in his life. And the old guy who's been battle worn has says to him, like, you know, look at this, and then, you know, and they have that conversation, and then it goes quiet, and then he talks about the Indianapolis, when the men, you know, about, you know, 1,200 men went in the water and only a couple hundred made it out because the sharks were just feeding on them for 4 days. So basically they were stranded for 4 days. Like, I can't even imagine that, like going through night and day, and then, you know, sharks coming in and out, feeding on you, going, coming, and you're like, oh my God, are they going to come for me? I mean, the levels of uncertainty are just on a different level, man. It's crazy. So you feel about horror films. What is this? Let's go for it. Wow. Tastes amazing. It's funny, I just shot a little video on eating healthy, and I spoke about it's okay to have some junk here and there. When you're eating healthy consistently, it's fine, but not every single day. I'm not having, no, it's obviously you're gonna be out of shape. Oh man, this is good. Crazy. sometimes I think about what brave people have gone through. It makes me feel like a coward. I feel like a coward. Compared to what men and women have gone through, like, you know, what men go through at war. Okay, more stories about uncertainty. Okay, sparring, boxing. I've told this story before, I'm going to tell it again. Please bear with me, all of you that are younger than me. This is what happens when you grow old gracefully. We don't use the word old on this channel. I feel great though. I feel, this is cliche though, people always say it. I'm going to say it in a minute. I feel better than I did when I was 30. That's the truth. I'm more fitter. I work out more consistently. Yeah, so sparring, uncertainty. Everyone's frightened before they go in the ring. Those who say they're not, they're lying. The most honest people will tell you that. Obviously there's times where, you know, boxers can't admit that. It might not be appropriate at a certain time. And there is a time when you can't always admit that. It might not be appropriate, so they're going to say they're not scared, that they don't fear any man. No, we've all said that. I've said that. I'm not scared. I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of that. But the truth is, deep down, you are scared because you don't want to lose. You want to win, and you're human. Now, if you've done it for a long time, you're not going to be as scared as someone who don't have experience. So it's like me saying, I'm not scared to do public speaking, when the truth is I am scared to do public speaking. But the truth is I'm really confident at it because I've done it so many times, and I practice discipline every day. And it's something that I'm passionate about, and I've had the suffering that I've gone through in my life makes public speaking quite easy. So when I first went down to the amateur boxing gym, I was petrified to do the sparring. But what was more petrifying was waiting to get in the ring, because when I was waiting, I had to sit and I had to live with worry and uncertainty with my own mind. The biggest battle, more than the man I was facing in the ring, was the battle of my own mind. My fears, my anxieties, the emotions, the stories. What if I can't handle it when I go in the ring? What if I get humiliated? What if I get hurt and knocked out? What if I get tired and I can't fight back? I'm going to use analogies, and he takes me into deep waters and really breaks me down and beats the crap out of me and shatters my confidence to the point where I can never look in the mirror again at myself because I'm so ashamed that I got beaten up. All these what ifs, or what if I die? What if I die? What if I get punched in the jaw, my jaw gets broken? All these things, or what if I can't fight? What if I can't fight and I get found out that I'm a weakling, a coward, and everybody sees it and laughs at me? I appreciate that. You're not the only one who said I look like a model, even though I don't believe it's flattering. Did I ever tell you about the time I was in a mental hospital and a lady said I looked like an Armani model? It was flattering, believe me. Because when you're in a mental hospital and you've had a breakdown, last thing that you think and feel is like an Armani model. You're in agony. I wasn't feeling like a model. I mean, if I ever, I would never, ever be arrogant and say I look like a model, because I know it ain't true. And I would never disrespect the modeling industry, especially Armani models. But if there was ever a time in my life, where I looked anything close to a model, an Armani model, it would be right now. Right now. I'm 40 something pounds lighter, probably 39 after that cake. I'm off medication. I'm in a good place, apart from my clients who drive me mad and give me stress attacks. That was a bit of a joke. I love my clients, they're lovely people. They find this funny too. But yeah, she said I looked like an Armani model, so you know, I guess that's her opinion, but I knew it wasn't true. I knew if I looked like any type of model at the time, it would have been a Reebok model. But you're only as good as you feel. So yeah. But I bet most of you models out there, you're not as fit as I am, you're not as disciplined, probably don't have the good heart that I've got, and probably not as brave and caring, but you know, that's my opinion. But I appreciate everyone. Right, so back to the story. So with the boxing, waiting to get in was torture, for me anyway, for everybody, especially with where I was at the time, where I wasn't as confident as I am now, I wasn't as experienced, I was, you know, I had all my insecurities, so the waiting was torture. Waiting, and then the nerves build up. My legs were shaking, I couldn't communicate, I couldn't speak, I felt sick, I was freezing up, I was so in my head, I weren't present. I was in my mind, all my demons were attacking me, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, I wanted to get out of it. I was trying to find a way out. You know? How can I get out of this? I don't want to do it. I'm scared, I'm frightened, I don't want this feeling. I want this feeling to go away. How do I get out of it? How do I get out of it? But I can't tell them that. I can't say to the trainer, I mean I could have, but it would have been like being a coward. Especially when I told them how much I wanted to box and how bad I wanted it and how determined I wasn't going to let them down. I couldn't say that. But at the time, my thought process was, I'll be letting the whole of mankind down, my dad, everybody. I'll be a coward, I can't do that. Couldn't live with myself if I did that. So the waiting, like I said with the analogy in the Indianapolis, when those men would be waiting and praying that they weren't going to get eaten. I was waiting and I was praying that I weren't going to get humiliated in that ring and I weren't going to die and be found out as being a coward or whatever the case may be. And you know when you have a dream, ever had a dream where you was having a fight in a dream but you couldn't punch, the person was hitting you and you were trying to fight back and it was like, it was slow. That's what it feels like when you're overwhelmed with fear and you're terrified. You feel like you've got no power. The fear weakens you. The fight or flight adrenaline, it frightens you. Your whole nervous system, your adrenaline, if you don't know how to control it and be calm and you haven't got experience and it's a shock to the system, you start to weaken and then your body language goes down. That's what happened to me. So I had to learn how to handle the pre-sparring, the pre-fight. And then when I'd get in the ring, of course you'd be nervous, but you'd feel relieved or however it went. Then once you got out of the ring, I'd feel amazing. You feel victory. That makes life worth living because you faced it. You faced both fears. The first fear is waiting to fight, because when you're waiting to fight, you've got to face your mind. That's anxiety, that's worry, uncertainty, dread, loneliness, all of it. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of being good, all those emotions that we go through as humans, that we all go through, that torture. And what's amazing about boxers at all levels, even the ones at every level, the elite level, a lot of the times when you look at them, sometimes you can see it, but they don't look nervous in the changing room, especially when they've done it, but they are scared underneath. They are frightened, but that is what makes them heroic. They manage it. But the more you practice it, the more you understand fear and anxiety and uncertainty. And the more courage you've got, the more discipline. The more courage and discipline you've got, the less it bothers you. And the more you can find something in that place of uncertainty, whether it's right now in your life, before you go and run your business, when you go meet someone, a public talk, getting on a plane, doing something that you've never done before, anywhere where fear comes up. Really, I respect your uncle, man. Anyone who boxes, anyone, respect him. the reason why I'm telling all of you these stories is, it's not just because I'm older than most of you, right? That's not the only reason. The reason why I'm telling these stories because this is my mentorship. All of the answers and the teachings are in the stories. I've lived this stuff for real life. This is not stuff I read in a book. This is stuff that I did in my life. When I was younger, when I was a bit older, and you know, I did it today. I had to face my fears today. So anyone can do it. Appreciate that, man. Thank you, man. I don't even mind, right? Life has kicked my ass so much, and I've had a great life as well. So I don't mind if any of you make fun of me, honestly. But if you appreciate it, that's great. And I'm grateful for having the opportunity to help all of you to change your life, or to think differently about your life, or the way you go about it, to get something even to enjoy right now today, because I'm having a great time. Uncertainty, another story coming. Feel this one. I did a YouTube and I wish I uploaded it. I should have done it. I do that a lot, you know, sometimes. It's probably my own sort of OCD. Never got diagnosed with OCD, but I reckon I have it, where I do things and then I change my mind. It's an anxiety, you know. So okay, story. This is a true story. One that I know is relatable to everyone, but it's, you know, we all got our own stories. You can share some of yours, guys and girls. Okay, so I was getting bullied at school. How old was I? I was in year 10, and it was a kid that was a year below me, year 9. So I would have been around 15, he was around 14, I was around 15, you know. This was basically before we did our GCSEs. If you're not from England, you might not know what it is. Some of you are from America. Actually, let me know where all of you are from. All of you from London, England. I want to know different parts of the world. So basically, this particular kid, basically I was going to my class, right? Mexico, oh amazing, Mexico, oh that's great, man. I love your, I like a lot of your culture. I find it really interesting. And your fighters are amazing, Mexican fighters, warriors, really inspire me. I'd love to go to Mexico one day. So yeah, this I'm basically, you know when you're on break at school and it's time to go back to class. So I'm going back to my class and I'm trying to go in the doorway, and this guy is standing in the way and he won't move out the way, right? And I'm scared of him, and he's, you know, he's a person that I was afraid of. And many people were, because he had a big gang in school, and I didn't have a big gang. I was a shy kid. I didn't like trouble. I didn't like fighting. So he's in the doorway. He's purposely not moving out of the way. So I say, "Excuse me," politely. I try to go through, and he insults me and says something to me like "move," and I get angry at this moment, right? Because I was a person who was like that. If someone bullied me, I'd be scared. But after a while, I just would I'd get angry and stand up for myself. So I retaliated. I said something, and he said, "What?" He said, "After school, Jonathan, I'm going to beat you up. I'm going to beat you." Him and his gang. Now, immediately, he has triggered my anxiety. He's put me in a place of uncertainty and fear and dread and doubt and loneliness, and I didn't like it, because now I'm thinking they're going to get me after school, and I've got to sit in my lesson, knowing and worrying that after school I could lose my life. They might kill me. You know, sometimes gangs have knives, or they're going to beat me up. I'm scared now. This has like ruined my whole day. I won't be able to do my lesson. I know myself at that time. You know, I'm 15 years of age. I'm really shy. I'm really sensitive, and I'm really scared underneath. So I'm thinking, how am I gonna, like, in this moment, there's a lot going on in my mind. Like, you know, like a movie, time slowed down. So this has all happened very quickly. So I'm walking, trying to go back to my class. He's standing in the doorway. He won't move out of the way. He's not part of my class. I've been polite. I've said, "Excuse me." I've tried to go in the doorway. He's insulted me, and I've said back to him, I've said something back, and he's told me, I'm going to beat you up after school, Jonathan. All of us are going to beat you up. So in that moment, I was like, forget it. I said, listen, forget after school, let's fight right now. And before he could hit me, I've hit him, I've punched him. I was so frightened that I found my courage, right? I'm not advocating people fight, but it's basically a moral of the story is stand up to fear, be a good person, don't be a bully. Don't be bullied by anyone, your own fears. So we're fighting now. I'm fighting this guy. I'm afraid, and I'm actually beating him. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm beating him because I have built him up to be this monster that is going to destroy me, and I'm actually scared of him. So I stood up to him and I'm beating him. But then his friends start joining in, and they start hitting me. But I can't feel it at this point because my adrenaline's going. And then some people stick up for me. In the end, the fight gets broken up, but I've kind of like, I feel like a bit of a hero at school because everyone is surprised that I had the courage and I'd beaten a bully. I beat him quite easily. His friends joined in, and then it got stopped. So the moral of the story was, that was really brave what I'd done, because I knew that if I didn't fight him there and then, I'd have to sit through an hour and a half or an hour of class worrying with uncertainty, and I wasn't prepared to do that. I was in my early 20s when things started to turn around for me, Lee, with regards to facing my fears. I was in my 20s. To be precise, I would say I was about age 20. I started, that's when I went down and did amateur boxing, and then I kind of got scared for a few more years. If you know my story, I got suicidal at around 23, 25, and then I, prayed, listened to Les Brown. But it was in my 20s I started. Good afternoon to you as well, man. You got bullied as well. Yeah, many people did. I'd say pretty much probably everyone on this whole platform did. I've never met someone who hasn't at some point. It's not nice bullying. It's not nice, but you come back from it by practicing the things that I teach, discipline. Yeah, I hated fighting in school. I didn't like confrontation. But at a certain point, I'd fight back or stand up for myself because the fear would just literally torture me and make me frightened. And sometimes I wouldn't fight back, I'd run home or whatever. Fancy another coffee, I think I might get another one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why exercise is really good, because it does teach you a lot of the tools to deal with anxiety and to build confidence and discipline. Well, no, to answer your question, Flores, kind of no, because people have changed now, and I don't really see people from school. But that did happen to me before in my life. That was probably a long time ago, where I would experience what you've just said. But as time's gone on, I feel different about myself now. I feel more secure and confident, and those traumas have kind of healed over time. And people change. A lot of the people are nicer. Some have moved away. Some people unfortunately are on drugs, things like that. So no, it's kind of gotten over that now. But yeah, I definitely did feel it at a certain time. Probably more in my 20s, I experienced those feelings that you're talking about, those old uncomfortable type of feelings. Funny enough that you bring that up, that's one of the most challenging things for people, and has been for me, is dealing with uncomfortable feelings that arise from bad experiences or future fears or uncertainty, anxiety, and it's really learning. They're not pleasant, believe me, I don't like them either. I feel a couple of them now rising up in me from some of the, worries that I'm dealing in my own life. But I've really just, you just learn to do the best you can to get through the day and get used to them. And practice, connection through relationship building, doing what you love, having a laugh, nice places, cleaning, watching something, whatever you can do, obviously, to get through your day, and sometimes just to sit with those feelings and really go, okay, they're not nice, let's go through these emotions until they pass. Yeah, that's a nice thing. I felt the same way too. I felt the same way you did. That means you're a good person. That's nice. You know, when you have remorse, you feel sorry for them. Yeah, that's a sign of you've got a good heart, good person. And that's actually, it takes a lot of courage to get to that point. I'm glad that you brought that up. That's important for everybody on their journey. Forgiveness, or having compassion, empathy, because we don't get away with these things when we do them. When you're young, you think that you are, but as you get older, all of us, we all have to deal with things that we've done that we're not proud of. And I guess that's part of forgiving ourselves, or being forgiven, and learning and trying not to do those things again. But there's no one who's alive that hasn't, felt bad about their behaviour, and the bullies would have felt the same. I know that I told the story before the other day about a bully that I let off. He apologised to me. He felt bad. So it works both ways. Oh really? But yeah, as human beings, fear and anxiety has challenged all of the human species throughout history. If you do some research, it's pretty common sense, but sometimes people forget, because we get caught up in our own head, or how we think we're being viewed by people, and we compare ourselves to other people. But the reality is, fear and anxiety is, probably one of the biggest human diseases. It challenges everybody, even people. Even myself, even teachers who teach courage and discipline, teach people how to overcome fear. It still challenges everybody. It's challenging. So it's learning. I try to learn a lot from my faith. I practice it today. I'm practice it now. Learning to live in faith, because I can't control everything. None of us can, and I can't know what's going to happen in the next hour or tomorrow. I have no control over that. I have no control. But all I can do is have faith, be brave, live the best life I can, try and be decent to other people, enjoy life, be brave, and connect. We always do it though. We always do it, don't we? And I still do it. I know everyone struggles with fear at times, but we look at other people and we say, it's different for him, or it's different for her though. They're not going through what I'm going through, or they don't feel as frightened as I do, or they don't struggle with when things go well. I worry that they might not go well because of uncertainty. I'm going to read your questions. I appreciate all of you taking your time to write these things. It's not easy to. Yeah, the human condition is universal. A guy in the 17th century, Denmark, he went through the same fears and emotions as us in the 21st century London. Yeah, definitely. It's inspiring, man. We can take a lot of strength from these people. I'm living at school residence. Last was almost left outside the room. Hold on, let me read that question again, Lee, see if I can help you out what you're saying here. So Lee's saying he's living at school residence. He almost slept outside the room because I was single and afraid of women. So I was giving other men space. What would you encourage me to turn things around this? Got laughed at almost. It's not very nice. That's a tricky one. Usually I would encourage you to face fear. I'd say don't let them break you. Forgive them. It's not kind what they've done. Shouldn't be laughing at you. Follow your heart, do what's right, do what you feel is right, face your fear if that feels right. If you can't face your fear, sometimes there's a little bit of contradiction in truth. Sometimes you have to accept, I'm going to do a video on this, that we can't always face our fear. We're not always perfect. We're never perfect. Do you understand what I mean? But as long as you don't continue to live like that, that's fine. So there's been many times where I've gone, you know what? Put my pride aside. I'm scared I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have the courage today, or I can't face what I'm dealing with at the moment. I'm gonna pass it up, and I'm gonna come back to it. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna go away. I'm gonna listen to someone else, and I'm gonna try and come back and face it. I actually think that's healthy. Now, of course, it's better if you can do it. If you can't do it, just be really honest and humble. There is a strength in that. There is a humility, and that's when that takes a lot of courage to say, you know what? I can't do it. There's no excuses. I'm too afraid. I can't face it today. I can't do it. Please God, give me the faith and the strength next time, or I'm going to be vulnerable. I can't do it. I'm too scared. I'm going to pass it up. I think there is some strength in that. In a healthy proportion. I wouldn't say continue to live like that. No, because that would be a continuous coward. But you can say, I'll come back to it. You know, it's a bit like that. It's a bit like the bully. I had many bullies in my life. There were certain bullies that I was too scared of them. I couldn't do it. They were menacing. I didn't have the courage, so I just had to let them bully me. You know, I was ashamed. But then later on, I built up some strength and courage, and I said, right, I've had enough. He's bullied me now 10 times. Next time he comes up to me, I'm going to fight back. And that's what I did. So we don't always find courage and strength straight away, right? And that's sometimes where we need a mentor. We need a mentor. We need a teacher, someone who cares, someone who's got experience, someone who's correct what they teach, me, whoever works, to help us, to build up our mental strength, our courage, our discipline, our heart, to have that relationship with, to get our mind right, so we can then be ready to take on the things that we're afraid of. I need to make a video on that actually. Just to let everybody know, I do mentorship sessions on Zoom. So if you need to talk, you need some mentorship, you need help, you need encouragement, you need a program to get you started on changing your life, I do paid sessions on Zoom, one-on-one, 1 hour sessions. Start at that's the shortest time, and it can go up to longer, but you can just do a one-off session if you're interested. My email address is below. I also do long-term mentorship for clients that are committed, really want to change their life, and but I only work with people that are really committed on long-term programs, because my life is short. I haven't got time to waste, and if you're not committed, then it would be better that you stick to the free video. So the mentorship's there. If you need it, let me know. That's interesting. I would say this though, RJ Flores, and I say it to everybody, and I mean it kindly. Be careful about falling into the trap, all of you, of reading books on how to find courage, how to find peace, how to overcome fear. Be careful not to become addicted to that, because if you don't face your fears, you're not going to learn, you're not going to grow. And it's a different type of learning, as opposed to reading about it and doing it. I'm going to make a video on that. So I'm not saying that, people shouldn't read books. It's fine, read books, but you shouldn't read books as a replacement for the truth, because you're not going to succeed like that. You're not going to grow, and I want people to succeed, and it's not the truth. in this area. So make sure if you're reading books on how to find courage and face your fears and change your life, that you are taking action, that you are at least trying to apply it, or at least just be honest and say, at the moment, I haven't got the courage to face my fears, so I'm reading about it in hope that reading about it from other people that are brave will eventually encourage me, inspire me to eventually find that courage to go and face my fears in real life. Believe me, I've said this before, I'm going to do a whole video on it. I've worked with so many clients that are committed, and they don't fall into that trap of reading books because they're living it. When you're living it, you don't need to read books on, and this is not just the Flores, please Flores, this is for, many people do this, believe me, thousands, millions, and I want to help. You know, when you're living it, you don't read books. I mean, you might read a book because it's fascinating and you want to learn, like I do, but you're not going to be reading in that, you're not going to be in that relationship where you're reading as a defense mechanism. And that's the thing, you know, mentorship. Sometimes, you know, you're not going to want to hear me say the truth. We don't always want to hear it. I didn't want to hear it from my mentors, but you have to sometimes. You have to put your pride aside. You have to get a little bit angry and upset when someone tells you the truth and says, look, you're not facing your fears, or you're not disciplined, you're not doing it right, you're being defensive, or you're being scared, or you're not being accountable, you're not being honest about the fact that you are rationalizing. And I'm saying this because I want the best for you. And if I tell you what you want to hear, you're not going to change. Your friends can do that, and people pleasers can do that, and I'm not going to do that for you. Oh, that's fair enough, man. I'll tell you why I say this story. I got another story, right? I won't say names, right? I had two friends. One old friend that I absolutely love. He was an absolute gentleman. He was a really good friend to me, right? And another friend who wasn't a great friend. He was a bit fake, and our relationship was a bit fake as friends. And eventually we went our separate ways, right? But I still appreciate him, right? No hard feelings. But at the time, I didn't have much experience like I got now. This is, 20 years ago. 15 years ago. So he would read, both of them would read a lot of books, right? And I wasn't as well read because I didn't really enjoy reading books, to be honest, right? Unless it was about boxing or something that I enjoyed. Anyway, they would read a lot of books and they'd start preaching to me about how to live a better life, how to be better in life, how to do this, how to make money, how to be successful. And I used to believe at the start because it sounded really, really intelligent and it sounded true. But then I realised that they were bullshit. That they were reading books from other people that had gone out and lived it and took an action and become successful, but they hadn't lived it. So they were just paraphrasing what they had read. And when I realised that, I realised it and I went, oh, I get it now. And I thought they were not. Something wasn't authentic. When someone's living it and teaching it, you feel it in their voice. There's something in a human being that goes, I know this person's telling the truth. I know they're doing what they're saying they're doing, and you see it in their life. So they weren't living it; they were intellectualizing, and that's a big part of that story. That's why I say, stop being a coward, guys or girls. Take action. You're reading too many books. Because I had experience with friends that did that, and they weren't disciplined. They were overweight. They had a poor diet. They were judging people all the time. They were negative. They were not happy in their life. They were not disciplined. They didn't have gratitude. They had lots of material things, but they didn't appreciate it. So I couldn't look up to them. I couldn't listen to them because what they were saying they weren't living. But when I got a mentor in Les Brown, I could listen to what he said because he was living it. He was an example. He was making money. He was successful. He changed his life. He was positive. He had wrote books. So, it's night and day, man. It's night and day. It's night and day. It's not the same. There's different types of intelligence. You've got intelligence in the academic sense where someone reads books and they're very knowledgeable in the mind intellectually, and there is some, of course, there's skill. There's a place for that, and that's a level of intelligence where you read, you memorize, you paraphrase, you take knowledge in. It's not the same intelligence as awareness, which is more intelligent. It's 100% more intelligent. You know, even Eckhart Tolle said it, and I agree with him. He's a smart man. Awareness is not mind. It's not the mind. Awareness is consciousness. It's your spirit. It's a lot more. It's awareness. And that's not the same intelligence as theory, as reading words or learning equations, and it's mind, that's the ego. You know, that's where people get stupid, where they're suffering, they're not happy. Intelligence and awareness is truth. And you get that from facing the truth, living truth, and becoming aware. Oh, I'm aware. Oh, okay, I'm aware that I have that I'm an angry person. I have a lot of anger in me, for example. I've got a lot of resentment. I'm aware of that. Oh, actually, I don't want to be this person. I don't want to be an angry person, so I'm not going to identify as an angry person. I'm going to go and get therapy, or when I feel angry or anger or resentment or whatever, when I criticize people, I have the awareness to go, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be positive. Be nice to people. I'm going to go to the gym. That's awareness. That's intelligence. You don't get that from reading a book. You get that from living it and doing the work. You get that from suffering. You get that from following your intuition. So my intuition will always tell me when someone's lying and they're not living it, and they're just reading books and they're just quoting, but they've not lived it. So let me give you thanks for inspiring this, Flores. So another example is someone can say, yeah, you should go running, you know. David Goggins does running. Running's very good for the mind. Running builds character. Running builds mental toughness. Running improves your biology. Running scientifically proven. Blah 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 blah. Let's stop for a second. Awareness. But if that person who's telling me that and telling you that and people is not running, they're overweight, it's not truthful. What they're saying is true, but they're not living it in their own life. So I can't take their word seriously. I can't. It's not going to resonate. The energy is not true. So you can't say all these things if you're not living. I mean, you can, but no, you're not going to impact people. Does that make sense? No, I haven't been to a Tony Robbins event. No. So be careful of that, you know, if you want to be happier in life, because it's just not true. It's going to catch up with you. Lies catch up with you. So that's why I say it's better to be humble and just be honest and say, look, I'm out of shape, I'm fat, I eat a bad diet, I don't run. I can't really tell people to. I'm not an example of it. So when I say it, I can say to people, running changes your mental health. Running will improve your finances. Running will help you to get past resentment. Running will make you appreciate your life more. Because I run almost every day and I'm in shape, I'm fit. And I do it, and the videos are all over the internet of me doing it. I do it pretty much daily. So I'm qualified to say it. Now, I'm not qualified. I can't start telling people how to invest in Bitcoin because I'm not qualified, because I've never invested in Bitcoin. See, that's humility, that's being honest. So I'm not going to start saying you should invest in Bitcoin. So I've never done it before. I've had friends who have done it. I can't give you that information. That's not my teaching. That's not my truth. And if I just read a book on Bitcoin, but I've never invested in Bitcoin, I'm not going to speak on it. So you have to live it before you start telling other people how to live their life or encouraging them. Otherwise, it's not going to resonate. It's not going to be truthful. It's not going to help people. It's not going to help yourself. Exactly. Well, you said it exactly. You know, you said it yourself. You know, I was in the gym today, working out, and there's, you know, different people in my gym. There's a personal trainer there. I see him for years, and I thought, you know, I'm going to speak to him, and I just, I like to be, you know, kind with people. And I said, excuse me, I said, you're in great shape. You know, I said, how are you in great shape? Every time I see you, you're never working out. I was joking with him. Like, he is in good shape. He works in the gym. So what I meant was, every time I see you, how do you get such a good body in such good shape and I never see you doing weights? And then he said, oh, obviously he works, but he works out in the morning. He's incredible shape. I complimented him. Now, he can give me advice on being in good shape because he's living it. He's got the proof. Where I can't take advice from someone, as you said, who's not in shape and has just read books. It's not going to resonate. I'm not going to respect that. It's not going to work. That's my point on reading books and not facing the truth in whatever you're trying to achieve. And that's to many people. People do it with YouTube. They do it with my videos. They watch loads of podcasts. Look, I love podcast shows. Podcast shows are entertaining. They're inspiring. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. But watching podcast shows is not living a successful life or positive. It's not enough. It's not doing it. It's an addiction if you're not doing it. But if you're living it and you're trying every day, then it's okay to watch podcast shows. So intelligence comes from being brave. The type of intelligence that you earn and gain and become aware of, you can't get that just by reading a book. It's unlikely in the way that you can get it by going out facing your fears and slaying, your demons in reality. The most intelligent people I've met never start talking about reading books. I'm not saying they haven't read books, but they take massive amounts of action and they're very self-aware and disciplined. People don't like it when you say that if they're not taking action because they feel offended, their ego gets offended. Well, it's tough. It's tough if you get offended, then it's because it bothers you. It must be true then. If you didn't get offended, if you wasn't bothered by it, it wouldn't offend you so much. I think that's a long conversation. I can't give you a short answer on that right now with regards to how do you love and trust in a relationship after a false accusation or disappointment or betrayal. I think that's something that you've got to figure out yourself through therapy, or I'd say live a disciplined life for a start. Make your bed, rebuild yourself. But it's challenging, but you can do it. But it's not going to be a quick fix. That's the answer I can give you now. You're going to have to really develop yourself and come to terms with the relationship that didn't go the way that you want, as you said, and get one that does go well. But I'd say a lot of that is about yourself, working on yourself. Kind of back to what I said about honesty and humility. If you can't face the fear, just be honest about it. People will respect that. And it gives you strength actually, and it improves your awareness, your intelligence. Like I said, there's intelligence and there's intelligence. Intelligence, it's not the same intelligence being in the arena as opposed to someone that's on the sidelines who's read books, or they're quoting stuff that's not theirs, that other people have said and lived. It's not the same. You've got to have your own quotes. You want to have your own experience to draw on, your own affirmation. Otherwise, it's just like people are walking around like parrots repeating stuff that they don't even believe in, they've not lived, and it's not theirs. And of course, it's okay to once in a while say, well, this person quotes that, and you give them credit. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, but not all the time. There's obviously got to be a balance, because otherwise it's just all you're doing is you're not living your life. You're not developing your own perspective. You're not being your own person. And that's a shame, because everybody's got value. Everybody's got their own experience to draw on. No, I haven't been to Paris. I've heard a lot about it. I think I would like it. Was going to do it, but then I got business came up, and I did some trips to Germany and Latvia that I enjoyed, so I kind of got out of my system. But yeah, I've heard it's nice. A lot of people told me that it's really nice there. I know I'd probably love it. French, Paris as well. Yeah, I'd love it. Looks beautiful in the movies, and I get a feeling that nice feel. Oh yeah, the Eurostar is great. You're right. Yeah, from St. Pancras, yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'll definitely do it at some point. Let's see. Oh, really? Yeah, I can imagine that. So yeah, by all means, for people that are listening, they're going to hear this later on. Of course, educate yourself, and if reading books is a hobby of yours, of course read books. I'm not saying don't read books, but don't lie to yourself. Don't say that you are living a positive life or you want to live it when you're not doing it and you're reading books to hide. Don't use beautiful books, great knowledge, as an addiction to escape from facing your fears, like going to the gym, leaving your house, clean your apartment, eating healthier, being kind to people, not letting people bully you, having boundaries, traveling the world, doing all these amazing things. Basically, don't hiding books, because unless you want to, if you want to do that, that's none of my business. None of my business. That's you. But if you don't want to do that, and you've come on my channel and you want me to help you and mentor you, and then I appreciate that. Thank you. Now, funny enough, right? Contradictory. I enjoy reading from time to time too. I read stuff from the Bible, and I've really enjoyed that lately. It's very challenging and rich, and I like doing writing. So I like writing. I'm a writer myself, and reading can be great, but I take massive action to get that balance right. And I think that is the perfect balance. Again, no one's perfect, but you want to. Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, how can you develop yourself as the best as we can as humans? So yeah, read a lot of books, educate yourself. Great. Write your own book, help people, great. Make a living as well if you can, great. But take a lot of action, basically. Be a brave person and be intelligent in both ways. Be intellectually intelligent so that you've got that school of, you've got that handled. You've got that in your locker. So you're an intellect. You're intelligent. You can communicate. You can learn. You can study. You can memorize. Brilliant. But make sure that you've got awareness intelligence too. Make sure you're brave. Make sure you can go to battle and face the daily difficulties that we all have to face. And a lot of the times, if we want to help someone, we've got to face terrifying fears. I've got to face tremendous amount of fears on a day-to-day basis to help people. I love it. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm telling you the truth to help you as simply as I can. Fear of flying. That's amazing. That's living it. That you still do it. That's courage. That's success. been a really good stream today. I really have appreciated it, enjoyed it. I'd recommend any of you try this. I do it every day. I didn't used to do this for years, you see. That's honesty. I didn't practice gratitude. And I've been doing it a long time, and I got to do a video on it. It's really powerful. Anytime in my day, like right now, I will, that awareness again, I'll just stop and just process. You'll see me go quiet a bit. I'm going inside, I go, I feel grateful in this moment. I appreciate us being here, doing this, just right now. It feels amazing. And you can build on that more. I'm learning as I'm explaining it, see? So it's not an intellectual thing, although it can start there. Again, intelligence. If you just say, yeah, Jonathan said, be grateful for my life, or Tony Robbins said it, or my mum said it, or my dad, yeah, I'm grateful. It's like, okay, that's a start, but that's not really truthful, you know. I'm gonna get another coffee. Keep going till the battery runs out halfway. So, you know, for me, gratitude, it was the same for me. It can start off intellectual. It's more spiritual, more, you know, emotional. It's more, you really feel it. You really feel it. And if you don't feel it, then that's fine. You be honest. It will eventually come. My whole thing is, you know, my whole thing is about whether you enjoy your life or not. And there's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. I mean, that wouldn't work for me. That's not what I do. I used to do that, but I think it's really about if you're happy or not. And if people are happy doing that, then that's great. Just, you know, whatever you're doing. But those, yeah, I like business, and you know, I do business mentorship for people that are committed. I think it comes down to the individual, if you're happy or not and you enjoy what you do. Because, you know, some people run businesses and they don't like it, they hate it, they resent it. So it's not always because someone runs a business that they're happy and someone that does 9 to 5 is not. I can explain that. I can do a video on that if you like. I'll get into. I need a coffee to answer that question. Let me get another one. You know, this is my friend. Just a second, guys. Let me get another coffee. I'll be with you. I'll answer your question, guys. Like, even this, like, I'm so grateful that they let me, like, I can stay here like as long as I want. Like, obviously you know, I'm spending some money getting coffee, but you know, I'm not actually staying at the hotel. And you know, I've built up quite a good relationship with some of the staff here, and I just feel grateful that I can come here and they treat me well, and I can do these streams, sit down for hours, stay long. Amazing, really grateful. Wow. What made me start my own business, if I'm being honest, was getting bullied by some bosses. Not all bosses. I think you guys and girls would love me to do a video on that, because you would relate to my story. Everyone would. The stories everyone would be like, that's me, because you know, we're all human. So what made me start my own business was I just got tired of being bullied all the time, or feeling like I was being bullied by, not all bosses, because I had a really good manager when I was at Royal Mail. He was lovely. I'll never forget him. I'm going to speak on him. But many bosses bullied me because I was socially at the time, you know, a very scared, shy person. I wasn't the person I am now. So I just got sick and tired of being bullied, and I just I wanted to go and live my passion, which was to help people. And I remember thinking, well, when I become my own boss, I'm not going to treat people the way these bosses are treating me. You know, they're not honest, they're manipulative, they're nasty, and they're treating me bad, and I don't like it. So I'm going to leave. Obviously, as well, I got sick of not having much money, so I wanted to earn. Actually, money, it wasn't even about money at the start. It wasn't about money at all. It was about, you know, what is true, what felt right. And not feeling, I didn't want to be bullied anymore. So that was really what got me started. You know, the passion to help people and a refusal to be bullied by people. Yeah. Yeah, coffee's more expensive here. I would say it's between £6, £7, £8. But for me, it's worth it because I value it. I don't drink alcohol, so you know I'd spend a lot of money on alcohol. I don't do drugs, and it's it's a good treat for me. I work hard, and it's a reward, and it's worth it for the great service. Thanks, I appreciate it. It's lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, these biscuits are good, man.
Can I get this one?
Yeah, of course you can. Thank you. Is it okay if I get some more water? Thank you. Cheers. Yeah, I took my client Phil here. He loved it. Well, I take most of my clients to places, but also as well, I I go to regular coffee shops as well. I really enjoy them. I'm going to speak on that. I can be grateful in all different places. You know, it's one of the good things about growing up poor. I grew up poor, whatever that means. So I can be grateful in very little because I'm used to not having a lot, and I've had a lot in my life as well. So I can be in both worlds. It's nice, isn't it? The artwork, it's beautiful, isn't it? The whole decor is lovely, man. I'll just show you guys. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? I'll show you around, and I'll show you guys in a second.
Yeah,
Thank you, man. Cheers.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. Look at that. It's a lovely place. I'm grateful for a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. He showed me this place. He introduced me to this place because we both love hotels. And I think it was like 4 something years ago. So I've got a lot of good memories here. And then when COVID came, obviously for that period I couldn't come here because things changed. So now it's open again. It's a nice place to come. Now, all of you can do it. There's nothing stopping all of you. Again, that's facing fears again. Those fears of going into new places. It's near it's central London. It's off. You know what? I'll be honest, RJ Flores. I want to tell you, but I'm a bit reluctant because I don't want every single person online. Not that I'm someone following me or coming here. I need a bit of peace and privacy. Otherwise, I would tell you. But you guys can figure it out, and girls. Hotels all around London, you're free to go in them. It's up to you, free country. I had a good business idea one day. I should do it, face my fear again. Because I go to these hotels a lot. And I was going to ask them if they'd let me do a documentary or a video. It would bring them more customers and business, and maybe they can pay me a fee. I can bring them a lot of clientele and put it on my channel. It was a good idea, wasn't it? You know what they say about a good idea? It sounds crazy. It's probably gonna work. Because over the last kind of around the time after I had my mental health breakdown. The last 6 years I went on this amazing journey and I've gone to all the top hotels all around London, and like what you were saying, RJ Flores, I love the history, I love the architecture, I love the energy. And growing up as a kid watching the American movies and French films, I always loved hotels. This is nostalgic for me. This is like a childhood dream. For me, it's not about money and material things. It's the nostalgia. You know, I find them. I feel comfortable in them. They're like, I don't know. For me, it's like a church. I feel safe in these places. They're beautiful. Obviously, not every single hotel. They're all different. Oh, is it? You grew up in a council estate as well? Oh, wow. I forgot that. I think you told me before. Yeah, there's quite a lot of famous people that come by here. I know that Floyd Mayweather's been here. I wasn't here when he's here. I saw him. I saw many famous people here, footballers. Every minute there'll be a famous person walking. I'm not going to know all their names, faces, some of them. There's many famous people come here. But I didn't come here for that reason. I'm not interested in, I'm going to go. It's because I love hotels. So, but yeah, just, you know, on the topic of hotels, lots of interesting, different people come through. If you just treat everybody the same, which I do with respect, and you get your confidence up, and you know that no one's better than you, you're not below anyone, then you're not intimidated. But a lot of people are scared to come to these places. I know that, I understand that. I was when I was younger, because again, a lack of education, a lack of awareness, and, you know, not facing that fear. But it's a choice, isn't it? But yeah, most of the mentoring that I do now, most of the mentoring of clients are in all the hotels, because the energy's better, the clients love it, I enjoy it, and it actually gives you more confidence, and, you know, it's just a great, as you can feel, it's a great atmosphere. This coffee's lovely. Wow. But you know what, RJ Flores, right? I don't know how you feel, but I can go back to my area and appreciate it. Obviously, I don't want to live there forever, because I live there, and, you know, but when I go there, see my family, or I'll go back down there, I can really enjoy it. There's some beautiful places, obviously, around the council estate. So that is gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is finding gratitude in every situation, in different place, whether you're in a top hotel, or you're on a council estate, or, you know, you're in a rich place or a poor place. That's true strength and gratitude with humility, in my opinion, experience. Oh, okay, that's why you love Paris. So okay, I get it. Like a lot of you were saying as well, places affect how you feel. You know, if you're feeling anxious and uncertain about life and you're worried, if you go to a nice hotel or anywhere where you like, where you feel good, it's about you, isn't it? Everyone's different we're all the same, but we're different in, some people like hotels, some don't. Some people like museums, some don't. So it's really finding your place. Funny enough, I love boxing gyms, gymnasiums, yeah, hotels. You know what, I'm not going to say that I don't like museums, because I used to find them boring, but I can feel I'm definitely getting older again. I'm starting to get the taste for it now. So, you know, things change when you get older as well. Certain things that you didn't like, you might really grow to like. Like coffee. I didn't like coffee when I was growing up. I used to think, it smells horrible. How can my mum and dad try to people drink that? I tried coffee at 35, never looked back. Can't imagine life without coffee. Yeah, thanks for telling me that. Yeah, I can imagine Paris would have some rough parts as well. Yeah, everyone I know that's been to Paris has said good things about it, has liked it. My brother, my friends, friends of friends, previous girlfriend, etc. Good question, man. Can you still have gratitude and be unhappy? Yeah, great question. Brilliant question. You can. That's when you got to find it. That's when I found it in a mental hospital. You can be unhappy in your life. You can be unhappy about your situation. I love your question. A lot of wisdom. Paradox. Yes, you can. You can. I'm going through challenges right now, like all of you are. Am I happy in my life? I can't say I'm happy, but I could say there's areas that I'm really, really enjoying. As you can see, I'm happy today. I'm happy right now. But there's a lot of gratitude. And I think gratitude is better than happiness. Happiness comes and goes, it's fleeting, right? Like likes on social media. So you can, sure. You've got to, have awareness. You've got to want to practice it as all of you are. And then, it's like praying, basically. It's a muscle you've got to practice every day. I teach it on all my programs. It's one of the things that's top of the list, Wake up in the morning, make the bed, say thank you. Thank you for what you're grateful for. Yeah. Well, those guys earlier on that came over and they shook my hand, they liked what I was talking about. I don't know them, but they're probably famous. You're welcome, man. Thank you, man. You're welcome. Yeah, that's the thing, what a lot of people don't realise this until they realise it. Like, just because you've got a lot of money or you're famous, it doesn't mean you're happy. You could be happy and have nothing, be on benefits, be poor. It's not really what you've got, it's how you feel inside, it's who you are. That's a long conversation for another time. Yeah, I'm running out of stories here. Let's see what comes. Yeah, you're right, man. Thank you, man. You are right. I love working out, as you said. For me, it's like, it's not a punishment. I feel blessed to do it. I love, I train in any gym, the gym that I go to, it's not a fancy gym like this place, but I love it. It doesn't matter to me because again, it's being grateful for the facilities. That's beautiful, yeah. That's amazing, going for a long bike ride. I love stuff like that. Glad that you said that. Yeah. Well, it's back to the fears again and the accountability, everybody at some point has felt like an imposter and has felt like whatever. It's just a journey of developing, and gratitude helps you to get past those things, or at least come out of it, and helping people and all the things that we've kind of spoken about today. But I understand that I went through that as well growing up, so coming in these places, it destroys those demons, those old demons that I'm not good enough, I'm an imposter, I'm this, I'm that. Yeah, long walks are amazing. I don't know though. I think real gratitude. I think gratitude comes from suffering in life. It really does. It's great when we grew up. Let me know, guys, how it was for you. But my parents' good values. They would always be like, be grateful for your food. Be grateful for Christmas or the presents. And I was grateful. Don't get me wrong. But it was very short-lived. It was like, I'm grateful. Yeah, I've eaten my cakes, back to complaining or running, whatever. But as I got older and I suffered, I had a good life and I suffered too, like we all have, mental health breakdown, health scares, deaths in the family, heartbreak, tragedy, financial losses, things that we all go through at some point, that's when I started to experience gratitude through massive, immense amounts of pain and suffering, and also connecting, good relationships with other friends that are good people, that are honest, that are aware, that have also gone through, the challenges or tragedies in life, and they've come out the other side a little bit better, or a lot better. So other people help you to find that through sharing our stories, relationships, connecting, mentors, friends, things like this. There's wisdom in that. What you just said there. That's the thing, my parents used to say that, and it's wisdom. If someone gave you everything, everyone likes the idea of that at the start. Imagine okay, you grew up, your parents gave you millions of pounds or loads of money, you never had to work for money. They gave you houses, cars, everything. It would be great at the start, we'd all like that. But how would that affect your character as a person later on? That could put you into a bad place. Because if you don't learn how to appreciate and work hard, then there's a pros and cons, right? The same if someone was brought up and they weren't given anything, that's going to affect them. Definitely. True what you said, RJ Flores, that's why I'm saying no one has it perfect. We think that, poor people think rich people have got it better than them, and probably rich people think that whatever they think about poor people, but at the end of the day, both human. You can't take your money with you when you die, and we're still human underneath. So if you don't have humility and gratitude, both sides are going to come unstuck, rich and poor. But if you've got gratitude, then you're not poor. You might not have a lot of money financially, but you're rich in spirit. You could have a lot of money financially, but you could be very broke inside, very poor. So poor doesn't always mean not having a lot of money. Poor can be, no gratitude, no self-esteem, no courage, not helping people, no kindness. That is a poverty that is painful. Balance probably is the key in what is being said. Some great stuff here. I love to learn, so as someone who grew up in a poor area to begin with, I knew that didn't define me, because I believed in God, I believed in doing good, working hard. I had low self-esteem because of the bullying and what was told of me, but I also had a lot of confidence as well, contradictory. I always believed in myself, and I knew that it doesn't mean someone's better because they've got a bit more money, or I knew it, if you work hard, you can achieve it. So I had that understanding from going through these things and having a different perspective and challenging, these kind of common belief systems that are out there. Just to let you guys know, by the way, I've got a 1-year program, right? It is a higher investment, but the value is amazing. If you're committed to having me mentor you for 1 year, let me know. My client Phil is on the 2nd year. He's built a successful business. He's made massive changes. He's getting paid to do what he loves. My client James is doing 2 years. The reason why they're doing 2 years is because they've got so much value from the first year. Even James was a few months in. He said, "Yeah, I want to do another year with you." That's great, because obviously I can't do a year of everyone, right? My life would be gone. But I've got a select amount of a few more spaces. So if you're interested, send me an email. We can get on a call. I can talk to you. I can tell you the price. I need to find out what your goals are. So 12 months mentorship is amazing, because when you commit to 1 year, what are you saying? I want to succeed. There's no shortcuts, and that the time gives you massive growth because you're committing to something 1 year. I would say to anybody listening, even those that are not going to do my 1 year program and it's not going to be possible, I promise you, if you apply the same approach that I apply with my own life and with this paid program, your life's going to change, because you're not thinking quick fix. You're thinking, right, I'm going to go gym for 1 year. Right, I'm going to work on my relationships for 1 year. I'm going to work on my diet, and you're going to get incredible growth. What most people do is they go, oh, 1 year's too long. That's the wrong thinking, because 1 year goes quick, and people are going to waste 10, 20 years doing nothing. Anyway, those of you that are interested in applying for the 1 year mentorship program, my email address is below all these videos. Send me an email. I'd have to have a conversation with you, see if you're right for the program, find out a bit more about you, your goals, what you want to achieve within changing your life, because changing your life obviously is a broad statement. There's a lot of different areas to work on. What I do on the 1 year program, the first question I always ask obviously is, what are you struggling with? Usually with my clients, it's anxiety, and they're not happy in their life. In most areas, they're not, relationships are not happy, not confident, not facing their fears, not doing the right career. Everything's not right. So it's like, right, I'm going to help you to change your life and put the areas that are not right, get you doing the right career. So my client Phil, which is amazing, he went to university to study being a doctor. Amazing, he qualified, right? So he's got his, he passed at uni, but he didn't want to do that as a living. So he said, Jonathan, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a speaker. I want to run my own business. I want to make my own money. I want to help people do similar to what you're doing. I said, great, because I already knew he was committed. I worked with him before we did the business coaching. I helped him with social anxiety, because he had social anxiety at work, family, he got confident. He built a successful business, we did it. I said, give me 1 year, if you work hard on the program, you'll have a full-time income in 1 year. We did it quicker, 7 months. Now he's doing the second year, working me, obviously, because when you build a successful business, you still got to maintain it, and he's still learning a lot, and he likes picking my brains, getting my experience. He did it. He did it because he's committed, there's no excuses. So he went to university, whilst he was doing my mentorship, invested in the savings he had, and then actually his parents loaned him, they loaned him 10 grand to do a second 1 year with me. I charge more than 10k now, by the way, that's what I charged at the time. And now he's making that money back because his business is growing from my mentorship, and he works hard. It's easy to work with because he's so determined and committed. So, you know, there's no excuses if you're committed, but unfortunately, I'm being honest, most people on this live stream now and on this channel are not committed enough. They don't want it bad enough. If you wanted it bad enough, you wouldn't make excuses, whether it was money, whether it was time, because there's no excuses when you're committed. Like I said, when I started, I didn't have any money, but I used the free resources that Les Brown put out. I worked hard and I developed skills, and then I earned money. Same with my client Phil. My client James done the same. He used his savings to do my program. Got so much value. It's not his brother borrowed him more money. He did the second thing, because my clients get value and they make more money back. Because the mentorship that I teach is life-changing. It teaches you how to make money, how to build relationships, how to help other people, public speaking, all these areas, all of it are these skills that I've built up over the years. I've been in business now for 12 years, and I'm still learning myself every day. So if you're committed, you can do it. And I make it simple for my clients. We break it down one day at a time. We start off with the basics, right? You want to build a successful business, you want to make money, right? You got to get disciplined to do that. You've got to manage your anxieties, make the bed in the morning, clean the apartment, eat a healthy diet, right? Go to the gym. If you can clean your apartment, if you can eat healthy, if you can exercise regularly, you can build a successful business. If you can build a successful business, you can change the world, you can help people. You can do public speaking. These are all the skills I teach. Public speaking, entrepreneurial skills. They're all things that I've done and lived and succeeded. And I've failed at every single one of them numerous times. You have to fail. You're gonna fail on this journey, but you've got to fail well and learn. This coffee's kicking in. Yeah, return on investment. But most people are scared to invest because they're scared to spend the money in case I lose my money. But you're going to lose your money we're all going to lose it when we pass away. You're losing your money every day spending on things that are not healthy. You know, it should be bigger than money. It should be about growth, about, you know, living the best life you can. You know, I work with some clients that have got a lot of money, but they're not happy in their life. So it can't just be about money. They're lacking in courage. So it's not always about making money, it's about making impact. And I help all my clients to make an impact on people. How do you make an impact on people? By treating people how you want to be treated, having good manners, being kind to people. That's a great way to start. Basic fundamentals first, then moving on to the advanced stuff. How do you make an impact in business? By creating value on the market, finding a market, solving problems on the market, educating the market, being honest, working hard, living what you're teaching, you're creating value. Oh, it's so important. Well, many of my clients have done that. Many of my clients are doing it. You know, there's no sort of bad time to take mentorship. You know, I was getting mentorship from Les Brown when I was living with my parents. So there's no restrictions. Like because you're living with your parents, that doesn't mean it doesn't qualify for not getting mentorship. Again, it's people make excuses, and there's always an excuse if you allow one. It's not the right time. The weather's not right. If you're committed, there's no excuses. It depends, man. It depends on that question. I think it depends on culture. It depends on you. But if you're asking me, it was very important for me to move out of my parents because I had to learn how to grow up. I had to learn how to face my own fears. But, you know, there was a time I had to move back in. So it depends on that. But I think whether you're living at your parents or you're living on your own, it's important that you learn to have good values, have respect, work on your confidence, your discipline, many of the things that I'm teaching. But I think you've got to answer that question. It's got to come down to you because everyone's different. And I think it's also a cultural thing as well. It depends on your culture. I was in my early 20s when I moved out of my parents. I was about 19. I actually moved in with my nan for a couple of years. I loved it, lived with my nan. Because you know, I found it difficult living at home. Didn't always get on with my dad. And I got on better with my nan and I loved it. And I paid my nan rent, and then I moved out from my nan's into my own place. Yeah. Again, it's gratitude, isn't it? Because, you know, things can change in life. Like I said, you know, you can have your own place, then, you know, you can lose your place and you might have to go back to your parents. I had to do that. So again, it's making the best of what you have and then building up gratitude, discipline. I love that word, astronomical. I like that word. That's the prices of my mentorship. It's worth it. They're astronomical, the coffee. You know, all my teaching's free in this live stream. If you're conscious and you're aware and you appreciate it and you take it in, you're getting it all for free. This is my teaching. Wake up in the morning, make your bed, clean your apartment, eat healthy consistently, go to the gym, you know, treat people how you want to be treated, Give value, practice public speaking, practice facing your fears, practice gratitude every day, live the best life you can. Pretty simple, really, but I'm not denying that it does take courage, but what other choice do you have? What other choice? Either you're going to continue living anyway. If you're not enjoying your life, you might as well get something out of it and do the best you can and help other people.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, time's going to pass, time waits for none of us. It goes quick, man. Trust me, it goes very quick. Business is tough though. You got to be tough to be in business. It's life. There's a lot of challenges. There's a lot of stress. It's not just what people think. They just think that when you've got a successful business, you make a lot of money, you sit around, you work when you want. That's the idea. It's not. That's not the full picture. There's great freedoms in it. There's things that are great, but it's very challenging. You're not guaranteed a paycheck. You got a lot of responsibility. You got to pay your taxes. You've got to go through a lot of rejection, a lot of online ridicule. You've got to face a lot of anxieties. But if you love it and you're committed, then you enjoy it. What would I tell myself at age 22? That's a good question. I'm not sure what I tell myself. That could change by the day. But what would I tell myself at age 22? I think I tell myself to really focus on, really treating people well. Not that I didn't at that age, but that would be a priority. Really, think about the kind of person that I want to be, more that than other stuff. And then secondly, face more of my fears, be braver. So, love people more, think about people more, be less selfish. And the second one, go out and face your fears and be yourself. Yeah, a lot different. I think at heart, that I think there's a part of us that's always the same, which is nice, but yeah, I've changed a lot. I had so many flaws at 22. I mean, I've still got flaws now, of course, at 40, but at 22 I had a lot of flaws, a lot of insecure. It's a whole list of them. Been a great stream today. I love I always enjoy the long streams. When it's a long stream and I'm still learning and you guys can give me feedback if you want, I always feel that it goes well. I still do the shorter streams, but the ones that go at this length, they always seem to be more spiritually better. People get more out of them, and I can connect more with everyone, and we're all connecting. It just feels more of an accomplishment to me. Longer sprint. But yeah, look out! I'm putting out content daily for inspiration on all areas: business, diet, training. Check out the channels. You guys can follow me on Instagram as well. I'm on there. A lot of stuff daily, one day at a time. That's one tip I want to give today that will help a lot of people. It helps my clients. It helps me as well with stress, overwhelm, happiness. Just focus on one day at a time, because that's all you can do. Try not to worry about a year's time, a week's time, or this or that, or whatever you're worried about, whether it's your finances, your relationships, your health, your productivity, your life, your past, one day at a time. long have we been going for now? So 110 minutes. So that's what's that, over two? Is that 2 hours, guys? You'll appreciate all of you. Thank you. We've been a great effort. What is that, right? Because it does it in that time. So 110 minutes. I'm trying to break records here. So it's 2 hours, right? 2 hours. 90 minutes is an hour and a half. So 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wow, great. Oh, I love to see that. It's really nice to see all of you being kind to each other in the chat. It's lovely. Well, to be honest with your question, I'm not really thinking about that at the moment. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. And there are times I have gratitude. I'm more thinking about moving forward with the business and helping people, and I'm processing the loss of a friend that I love who passed away, and new things in my life, faith. But you are right, yeah, based on where I was, it is a miracle, and I thank you for complimenting me. Yeah, it gives me the strength to give more people. From where I was to where I am now, I never thought I could do it. Couldn't even leave my house. I couldn't even speak. I couldn't live life. I was that scared. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Are there any last sort of questions anybody wants to say? Anything that anyone wants to get off their chest, go for it. Slowly coming to the end. Yeah, loss gives you gratitude. I need to do a video on that. When you go through a really, really painful loss, it has a way of bringing you to that place. Well, it certainly has been for me. I can't speak for everyone, but people that I have spoke to or learnt from or seen their experiences have kind of said the same, which is, thank God, a beautiful thing. Yeah. Yes. It's tragic. It's sad. It's sad. Really sad. Really, it really is a hard thing. Yeah, it's tough. It's suicide. It's a tough thing. It's very tough. Yeah. People can have a lot of money, and that's what I'm saying. Money's not everything, A lot of people take life have got a lot of money, so it shows that money is not everything. Of course, it's important. We need it. We've got to pay bills. We've got to buy coffee. It's nice to earn some money, but it really isn't everything. It never gave me happiness and fulfillment when I've made money. It makes you feel good for a bit. It takes the stress away, but it doesn't give you long-term fulfillment like, the more important things in life do, like, loving, caring about people, your faith, or what we're doing today, appreciating daily life. Kind of contradicts a lot of the worldview, but it doesn't. People with money will eventually tell you that. You hear Tyson Fury he said the same thing. He had millions of pounds, but it didn't make it. Well, he was going to commit suicide. Thank God he didn't. So it's not everything money, is it? Yeah, give you a bit more peace, freedom, to a certain extent. So yeah. Are you still live streaming? Yeah, still going. Almost finished. How are you guys doing? It's Jonathan O'Halloran. You're right.
Is it on Instagram or?
It's on Instagram and YouTube. Yeah. That's me on Instagram and YouTube.
Nice one. Great.
What are you guys doing?
So where's dentist? Well, one dentistry. I'm basically in London for a few meetings. We're from Leeds.
Wow.
So just basically came today, this morning, and we had a few meetings, and now just going to back. What about yourself?
That's great. From London, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a lovely place here, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
lovely
very
energy.
nice,
It's
very
nice
nice.
here. It's
Very
good.
nice. Yeah.
It's good.
Fantastic. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
staying over here tonight? You just chill?
No, I come here, I have coffee here. I've been coming here for a few years. I might stay at some point when I go back home. I like the energy here. Coffee, nice place, nice people. Just get away, relax, have a bit of gratitude, get some ideas going, and go
So
back
what's your
home.
mission now? What's your goal?
Really to help more people, to share my story. I had a mental health breakdown after being successful in my business. I came back from that, and it's been a continuation. So awareness of mental health, business, public speaking, mostly encouraging people to live a brave life. Because obviously we've all got fears and insecurities, but we can choose to be brave, be better, keep growing, that kind of stuff.
Do you mind if I join you for a catch up, or are you?
I'm going to finish with this. Another time I work, but I've loved talking to all of you. So, good luck with what you're doing, and you've inspired me as well. Confidence coming up, what you're doing.
Definitely. I mean, we're on a journey as well, so we're just trying to progress and develop as well. Dentistry, so.
That's great. So what's the goal with the dentistry? You want to be successful, get bigger with it?
Exactly. So we're going to sell our company in 4 years' time for £1 million. So basically, we're building up our companies now. So like you said, it's quite we get quite tough. You have to be resilient, you have to be brave and bold to be able to get through the obstacles and keep the positivity and gratitude going forward.
Exactly. Like most of these things we know, right? We know, but it's the courage to do it. You know that you've got to keep going. You're going to fail. Some people are not going to believe in you. But if you keep going and work hard, you're going to get there.
Exactly.
And we hear it on social media, but not many people stick it out and go through the pain, the struggle that you've got to go through to get to that point. And then you appreciate it, and you've got a story to tell.
So you had a breakdown of your business.
Yeah.
What was the trigger to that?
Not quite sure. The doctors didn't know. Trauma in the past. I couldn't cope with some of the fame. Part of me didn't feel that I was worthy of it. I come from a poor background, some death challenges, having a bit of an awakening. Just broke down and got stressed out.
What was the industry?
I was in the dating industry, dating relationship coach. Did that for many years. Enjoyed it for a few years, and then after I weren't happy. Money and a bit of fame, I just felt lost. And that's when I realised I need to, work on other things. And it was a blessing. It was tough, but it's made me stronger. Come back, new message. And when you go through challenges and you come back, you're even stronger. And you appreciate things more. You respect people more. You're more grounded. You're more humble. And your perspective changes, and you don't view people as better than you, or you're better than them. You know that they can be good at what they do, but you're the best at what you do. So you just get a different perspective. That's my kind of story. Yeah.
That's what life experience does.
Exactly. Like so, the experience you've got, I wouldn't understand that because you've got it. You'd have to explain it to me. So you only really learn through experience. Teachers can help you, but they can't do it for you.
And I think also as well, you become more empathetic towards others, whereas before you didn't really understand why they reacted a certain way. When you get more experience, you sort of understand why they responded in a certain way, and that makes you become more patient and understanding.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing as well.
Exactly. That's a great perspective. Yeah. So how long have you been in business then?
So we graduated 8 years ago now. So after graduating, we practiced for like 2 years, and then 1 year, and then we stopped practicing clinically and just focused on sort of building the team, pushing the brand forward. We've got the Ultra Dentist, which is the highest rated dental brand in the UK.
Wow.
So we have, and then we've also got an online brand called Smart White. So basically just focusing more on sort of that management, building the brand. So that's what we're doing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What drove you? Was your parents in business?
They're in business, but in dentistry. But just like purely clinical. So we sort of took that, and then we were exposed to the business side, and we sort of rolled it back more. So we've used our skills as dentists, and we're qualified dentists, but also entrepreneurial threat. I think that drove us was proving to our family that we could do it as well. Yeah,
Wow.
That's a big driving force.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
our father's a big inspiration. He was just like an NHS. He worked in NHS for 15 years, just clinically. So he'd sort of just been used to a routine salary, not really seeing business coming into in life and how we can change it. So he sort of brought it to the family.
Wow.
Check it with hours. We'll drop your message after this. Twin dentists.
I will.
Just keep an eye out.
I'll check it out. I can feel that you're already doing big things and you're going to succeed more. Because you can feel it. I can feel the energy. You're determined. You're passionate. It comes across when someone is hungry.
Yeah, this is our younger brother. He works for the business called Smart White. He's
Wow,
19
nice to
years
meet you,
old.
man.
He's
That's
19.
amazing, man. Nice to meet you, man.
He manages 16 people.
Wow.
Yeah, 19 years old.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Wow.
Doing an awesome job.
Wow.
Yeah. Alright, man. We'll leave it to you,
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Love meeting you, lot, man.
Thanks
Good
for
luck.
that.
That was awesome, man.
Yeah, lovely to meet you.
Awesome, man.
Jonathan, yeah?
Yeah, Jonathan.
Hassan Hussein Ali.
Hassan Hussein Ali. Nice to meet all of you, right? Good luck, man. Keep going. Keep going. Wow. Those guys were great, man. They're so passionate. So passionate. Wow. That was beautiful. Great moment. That's gratitude. That's what I'm saying. You can't write this stuff in a book. It's those guys are committed. They're hungry, and if that doesn't inspire you guys watching this, then I don't know what will. And that's the difference. It's not. It comes down to how committed you are, how hungry you are, how it's. I don't know. I just get bored of saying the same thing, but it's the same. That's passion. When you're committed to doing something and you've got the passion, you're going to put the work in and succeed. Yeah, I love moments like that when you don't expect it. It's really nice. It's not about the money, man. It's about the money is like a distraction. It's about the passion, the growth. It's the connection. It's getting past that struggle that we all go through. That's what people want to achieve. Love, gratitude, because it's not about the money. It's about courage. At some point, even when people start off and say it's about the money, when they make the money, they go, that's not the money. We want to grow, we want to connect. It's the overcoming, I have to do a video on this. But yeah, that was, I think we'll end it there. That was a great stream. So I appreciate everyone coming on. I'm going to do some more gratitude processing, work on the business. Yeah, great stream. Hope all of you enjoyed it. And if you can take something away, it's courage, commitment, discipline, never give up. Awesome.